Today is a photo portrait exhibit that I'm featuring called Father's Lead, and it's in collaboration with the Lawndale pop-up spot. I just want to showcase fathers in a positive, productive light, changing the narrative of the whole unfit dad stigma.
So what we're creating here is a cafe and also a garden center, our cut flower farm, and our retail center. They're saying that if you live in a very green space, you also become not only physically healthy, but it's also good for depression. What we're doing here is providing that for the community and ongoingly, so that it's not just because response to the pandemic, but we're just gonna live in these beautiful spaces all the time.
My name is Johnny Jones. I am the founder and president of the Lingo Chicago, and today we are doing a physical wellness day. I think it's definitely been more important now than it ever has been before, because if you think about how we all had to stay at home, it was so easy for people to not take care of themselves. Since we have the availability to gyms again and be able to be in the same rooms as groups of people, yeah, it's just tremendously important.
For about 5 months, I went real hard, right? I just went hard and I lost a bunch of weight, and I had my wedding, I felt great, and on my honeymoon, I started working out.
The goal is education, because a lot of people, I would say the majority of people have gained a lot of weight because of COVID, right? So let's learn some tips and some tricks to learn how to get that weight off and keep it off.
I practice something called calisthenics, and it's AKA street workout, and it's basically being able to build up strength and stamina, flexibility anywhere you're at. The more you move, the more energy that you have. Movement is life.
Today here at the North Lawndale pop-up, I brought my mobile street art cart, and the mobile street art cart is a mobile creative station where people in the neighborhood are invited to make art around issues that are relevant to them and their community. I think there's a lot of creativity already present in North Lawndale, but it isn't necessarily celebrated. You know, I would like to see creativity and art making as being centered in reimagining the neighborhood, but also our relationship to the neighborhood and our relationship with each other.
So I work for St. Anthony Hospital, and I'm in the community wellness program, and we provide free services around family support, free counseling for individuals, couples, and also for families. For our neighborhoods, there are a lot of services that people don't know are offered, and also for services such as ours that are free for people that can't necessarily afford those. I just like to go out and educate and give out the information to let people know that we are here, not just my organization, but also the community partners that we work with.
Through my organization, one of the biggest things that we do is going to neighborhoods across Chicagoland to talk about birds and how awesome nature is and how much of it is in our neighborhoods. My hope at this point is to just really talk about and show people just how much there is in your neighborhood. It could be your local park, it could be your backyard, it could be just the street in front of your house. There is a ton of life and wildlife that lives among us that most of the time we're not very aware of.
So we do like a lot of like art therapy, mental wellness, mental health, emotional stability between like kids and adults. So I have a lot of people too that come to the table and they're like, yeah, just let the kids paint, let the kids paint. I'm like, no, it's also for adults. And then the adults come and they paint and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that this was so centering. So the goal is, as you're painting, you're like getting like close to yourself, being able to like release. So we're like really, really big on mental health and emotional stability.
You know, that was the whole point of starting him, you know, embracing those different personalities. So in one individual, there could be a him, and another individual, there could be a her. You know, they're summing it down to one name, but multiple different meanings.
We're doing a vaccination clinic. We have both Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. We've had some people return for their second dose and other people here for their first. As a PA, I was given it in the hospital setting, so you know we need to bring the vaccine to them.
So Food for Thought is a photo series specifically that is relating to the food deserts in Chicago and also the segregation in Chicago, how they both kind of correlate throughout history. Events like these are important just because, one, they're very accessible, and the fact that it's out in the open, like this is a public event, anybody can walk up and start being a part of it, which to me is a definition of community.
So today was our 5th and final Wellness Sunday event. Each week we've had a different theme. We really wanted to focus on wellness and healing. When we talked to our community partners about what kind of exhibits we wanted in the museum, the number one thing that kept coming back was around wellness and just trying to reconnect and hopefully get people healthy and focus on mental health, physical health, and community health. It's not going to be solved in a day. We just want to play some little part in affecting some kind of change. Most importantly, community-directed change.